since we might not have too much time, I want to jump into the next segment because I think this is important. Um, as you guys will see, like I named the whole session today, "What is life?" is because I honestly don't know what life is anymore. So I want answers from other people, and I want to talk about some things in a genuine fashion. So first of all, because we're featuring V today, I wanted to ask V, and V in this segment is completely um, open between us, basically. So you can ask me questions as well. Don't just think it's me asking. But I want to ask you first. Let's start a little slow, as in like I want to see outside of Twitch. It could be before Twitch, it could be still now. Like outside of Twitch, how do you see yourself? Um, and something that you would want other people to know about you that you don't think is well established.
Okay. Let me think. So, like I said, you guys have a pretty good glimpse into like what my daily life is. Also, my glasses are off, so you know it's real. Um, like I'm pretty open with you guys as far as like just my life. Like I have shared a lot and I still want to or share what I can share. But obviously we have only known each other for a month. Um so there's I guess you guys don't know that much. But like I said, I'm from Florida, have never lived anywhere else. My parents are from Vietnam. Shout out to the countryside. Um, they my dad like my family lived here, I grew up here and everything, but a few years ago my dad retired back to Vietnam. My mom passed away when I was 16 to cancer, so I'm just chilling in Florida, but um I like went to school. I have a degree, I have a college degree, although that's questionable because I'm not totally using my degree right now. I mean, I really just dread. I don't have that type of like 8 to 5 corporate mindset. Like, I don't want to sit at a cubicle from 8 to 5 and go on a 30-minute lunch break. And I'm not saying that as I'm down talking it. I think it's literally America. I mean, people have great stable jobs with, but it's me. I just can't sit still. And I'm just like constantly bored and I want to do like other unconventional things. But I guess a dream or goal of mine, I should say, is like, I want to start my own business. And as I've shared before, I have like, my degree is like business related. I want to start my own business. I want to start like a sustainable clothing company for women. I want to like manufacture like women's clothing and like, I guess like jewelry and like clothes, jewelry, but like but using like responsibly sourced materials and just being sustainable and kind of um um like I feel like there's so much waste in the world, and I know like the clothing industry produces like tons and tons and tons of waste. And I don't know, I just want to be like a little bit resourceful. I don't go hugging trees, but like I hate wasting things because that's how you're like brought up, like, just being resourceful, repurposing things. So anyways, I'm rambling, but um that's
I can pause you here for a little bit. I think we all, maybe in the chat also, we all need to take a break just to like um, appreciate and take in and process all the things you just shared. First of all, this is me learning about you first time, about your background, and I'm really sorry to hear that your mom passed away when you were younger. Um, so that must have been difficult as well growing up. Um, so let's take a moment for that. And also, your idea of becoming your own boss, creating a whole company, reducing waste. I mean, that's fantastic. Not a lot of people also have that courage to take on the world like that. So I think that's very, very interesting and very admirable. So, and about hugging trees, I'm the one who literally hugs trees if I can. Look at this. I have an orange
that's
tree
a
right
good
here.
plant.
This is This is the best thing I have in my room.
I like it. Did you grow that yourself?
This plant has a very, very special story. Someday I will share about this if
Okay,
I have
not
the
yet.
courage to.
Sorry. Yeah.
I've been growing it for the last. I got it in April.
Okay.
Before April, it wasn't with me.
Quarantine baby.
Yeah, actually, um, plants growing in my basement. So trapezoid, I got plants growing in my basement too.
Yeah.
Right.
His
So yeah,
version of plants.
um, but that like your story is very cool, V, and your ambition. I think I don't know if people knew about this about you before that you actually want to create a company about your clotheslines. But we want to support you in that area if we can in the future. And this mentality, I think, is very important. That, like you said, it's not down talking, but thinking differently rather than just the 9 to 5 mindset, I think is very important. This is how the world changes. So
Yeah,
I admire you
exactly.
and I commend you for that. Um,
And also, I just want to add because you just kind of reminded me of something too. Um, like you say, like the whole 8 to 5 job corporate America thing. Like, in no way am I talking down on it. I think it's stable, it's safe. A lot of like the greatest like jobs in the greatest like sought out after jobs are in the world are the 8 to 5 type jobs. But I guess what I'm saying is like when you go to school and like society, like that's kind of what society says is like go to school for all these years, get a good degree, and find like a corporate ladder job, like climb up the ladder and do the whole corporate thing. And and a
yeah.
lot of people are like miserable that way. Like I actually interned for a company in my junior year of college, and it was cool. I thought I needed an internship. I still do think it was super helpful, but like being in that internship, it was a typical 9 to 5. So I would get there at 8:30 and I would leave at like 4:30. And like seeing people around me was like I felt bad. Everyone was just like older and like kind of miserable doing the same thing every single day, looking forward to 5 p.m., looking forward to their lunch break, and then to just rinse and repeat. And I'm like, I don't want this. And actually, that company offered me a job after I graduated college, but I didn't take it, which I was a little bit like regretful because I'm like, dang, I could have had like a 60K salary right after college, but I'm not. I'm talking to strangers on the internet instead. Just kidding. It's cool. No, I'm
Way to
glad
call
because
us out like
there was a lot of growth and reflection and like development from not taking that job. You find other ways. And also, I just want to quickly plug. Shout out to Elon Musk.
Hmm.
I kind of love him because I think like as a person to be able to have contributed that much to society, like he is literally changing the world, making the world a better place because he wants to and he had a vision, he went for it. Like I'm not focusing on the little details, but overall as a person, like to have that many accomplishments, like I guess I just want like to motivate people to be different and to not be afraid to try things that are unconventional. Who cares what people think? Like if you want to stream. Like whatever, trial and error. I always say that. And like just kind of like motivating people to innovate and be different. And that is like cool, because who wants to be the same as everyone else? Like that's lame. So
so
anyway,
so so Mr. Musk, if you're watching this,
yes,
your girl V is right
Elon,
here. Invest in her.
yes,
Invest
Elon
in
Musk
her clothing
looking for
line.
investors soon. Um,
that's
but yeah,
that is
I
true
just
though.
wanted
I
to
mean,
plug that.
but yeah, that is true. I mean, having all this accomplishment, but also on that point, I do want to touch upon one thing that is kind of important to me. It's um, I know a lot of you in this chat, you don't really know me, and I don't want to take too much time going into my life,
Oh no,
but
please.
um, I had the same kind of mentality like V does right now, actually. I went to school, but I did nothing with what I studied. I went into business afterwards. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. and I'm still doing business work in my professional life, um, which is not 9 to 5 at all. And at the end of the day, there are a lot of things I think at at some point in life you got to figure out what makes you happy and go in that direction. And in terms of accomplishments, I mean, society has a lot of bars, a lot of norms, a lot of structures that we feel like we need to fulfill or accomplish. But I think everyone needs to figure out what happiness is to them and go in that direction. And when I talk about accomplishments, it is also important to take care of your mental health first. So if you try to follow someone else, like how they're doing, and you have to do the exact thing in order to be great or something, I don't think that's the kind of life anyone would ever be happy with. So you got to really
Right.
see, first of all, what makes you happy, and you got to see how you're feeling about yourself. So if
For
you're not
sure.
happy with yourself, I think that's never going to work out either. So
Yeah.
that's something important. What's happening in the chat?
Oh, nothing. They're
Battery
just
day. Okay.
don't mind the chat.
All right. Okay. Um, all right. So
But no, I agree, Zeal. Just to respond to that, like putting yourself first is something super valuable that I learned recently. Like it's your life, it's your health, it's your own priorities. Like you are like no one has your own best interest except yourself. So I realized like do things for you and not for other people. That's something I learned that and that has like helped me a lot in not being like miserable. So yeah, glad you touched on that.
yeah, no, I want to also interject into that a little bit because there's I feel like there's always this at least nowadays there's this duality or that you do this or that, but I don't think it's all like do it only for yourself kind of thing that works either. It's like you do have to put yourself first in terms of taking care of yourself. But there are moments in life when you might not have the best interest for yourself. There are times in our lives when we have dark thoughts and we are not in the right headspace. So sometimes I think the people who love you, the people who care about you, you got to listen to them. You got to take advice from them when you're not in the right mindset. And sometimes also in life, when you're not feeling so well, it might actually be a good idea to do something for others that will lift your spirit up as well. So I also don't believe that you always need to do everything for yourself or you always need to put yourself first all the time. So I think it's a
Mm-hmm.
balance. And I think that's why it's very important to have a good support group, a support network, people who care about you and you care about them as well.
Yeah.
So that I think that's important.
No, I mean I definitely agree. I didn't look at it like that a lot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it also depends who you're talking to, right? So of course, like your close friends, people that you know, love, and care about you. Like I do agree that if you're not in the right headspace, if you are going through a funk, if you're going through some sort of depression, like I do think that clouds your judgment a lot. And sometimes you do make bad judgments. So yeah, Zeal, I do agree that like people closest to you might be able to help steer you out of that direction. I guess it's different because like I went through a period of my life. We're gonna get a little bit deep. Sorry, real quick. I went through a period of my life where I felt like kind of alone, and I felt like I didn't have a support system. I didn't have like I felt very like one man for himself. So
Hmm.
my attitude was just me. And it also doesn't help that I'm an only child. So I feel
Uh,
like that plays a role in like it was always just about me. And I don't mean that in a selfish way, but literally that's how I grew up where I don't have siblings and I was always alone. Like, you know, if your parents are always working or not super there, it's like you kind of just it is like one man for himself. So like I said, it always depends who you're talking to. But of course, like if you it's best to think logically and not emotionally. That's my last saying. So
yeah, but I mean, also I'm gonna add to that, like we are human beings, and logic may not always win out. So it's
Yeah.
I'm not gonna discount emotions. I think um, being overly emotional does not help, but someone who is also always about logic, that also is not very good for our humanity. It's always a balance, and that's why having self-confidence is very important, but having a good support group is always better, to like people who you can bounce ideas off of, people who you know that will give you honest answers, will have your back if you need to. So, and someone in the chat says, I think it was Sumia, was like support group is Discord. So I think I think Discord can be a support group sometimes if you actually have good people in there and you have a
Yeah.
community. So I think it's very good. I think like a lot of us here, even in V's Discord group, I mean, we have never met and we don't know each other, but I think there's definite care there. So it's a good idea, and
Yeah.
the world getting connected, it's actually making some things easier. That's good.
Yeah, no. I love that like you guys hang out in the Discord. Like I love that we have a category for memes. Also, I'm just trying to shift the topic a little bit into something more light and fun. I think Trappa, shout out to Trappa because he set up my Discord, but you guys have sent pretty great memes. So I like that you guys hang out in chat and like I say, outside of my streams, I'm always posting and stuff. And I like seeing you guys and stuff and just chatting about random things, whatever, throughout the day. And also Griff Tricks sharing his vegan recipes all day. He's a funny guy. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so there are definitely some people in the community we can identify they're about this. So
Yeah.
who's the one about cars? I forgot, but someone is about cars.
Cars? Oh, that's Saki. Saki,
Oh
are you
yeah,
still on the stream? He's pretty much just a transformer. Just call him like Bumblebee. He's all about his cars.
yeah. So I'm going to just let the chat know. So we are moving towards. So the last 25 minutes are going to be completely question and answer. So if you have questions directed to me or directed to V, you can start thinking about them and type them in. The last 20 to 25 minutes, we're going to have just Q&A, and even if you want to share any anecdotes and any life stories, you can do that.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
have a little bit of time before that, so that's why we're just trying to get to know some of the deeper avenues of life, which I really appreciate that V is actually going into the deep ends sometimes. I don't think you should apologize for that. I think it's actually very important. A lot of people don't want to talk about that, but
Yeah.
someone has to. So V, why
I'm
don't
just
I why don't I usually do that on my YouTube talk show, but I want to know, like, what to you, um, in your life experience, what have you learned so far? What do you consider a genuine friendship?
Oh man, putting me on the spot. Well, I mean, I guess I am on the spot. Also, I just want to respond to Dice Creations comment real quick. I have not posted many memes. You're right. I like looking at the memes that you guys post though. I have a bunch on my old phone, but I had to delete them all because storage space. Um, yeah. So guys, keep posting memes. Also, to answer your question, I've like realized as you get older, I personally, this is me in my own experience, I personally find it um like harder to make friends as you get older because I guess for me, like even when I was in school, I was always the type of person that just went to class, did what I needed to do, and go home. And so I didn't really make like long-term friendships in school. I realized that in school you only make friends because you see them every day, or you see them 5 times a week, or you see them 3 times a week, or you sit next to them in your international marketing class. But outside of school, it's like you don't really as much. Um, I think real friendship is like, people that you can, it sounds cliche, but literally it's people that you can rely on, people that you trust, people that you know are there for you. It's people that you don't have to second guess. Like, do they have the right intentions? Do they have a hidden agenda? Are they
Mhm.
like trying to get something out of you? Whatever it may be, it doesn't always have to be money. But I'm just saying, like, people that have true intentions and have that bring some sort of value to you. Like to me, like I don't know. I find like I'm really hard on like people and including myself, as you guys know, for like standards, I guess. Like you guys, like I was saying in my past stream, is like um I hate canceling on people. It makes me feel really bad. But if you have to, you have to, of course. But that's just one of the things. So for me, it's like if people cancel, I'm like, I hope for the right reasons, you know? I mean, it's not up to me to determine, but like, I'm just using that as an example. That's kind of a bad example, but I don't know. It's like, and it depends what hobbies you have too.
But
But yeah, I
let
guess,
me try to like put a little structure here, then, or try to understand what you're saying. So you're saying um, that of course, as you get older, making friends becomes harder, and we understand the context behind that. Um, and you're also saying, so a true friend is someone you know you can rely on them. You know that they're not out to just get you or something. Is that, am I understanding you correctly?
yeah, a little bit. And also, I realized like as you get older, your priorities change and your values
Hmm.
change. So you look at things differently. I guess. Like, I don't know. It's not all fun and games anymore. Like I said, guys, I'm a boomer. I care about boomer things now. I'm like 54. Life is hard. I need to start looking at nursing homes soon.
Is that why you're so worried about people's teeth?
Yeah, exactly. I don't want you to have rotting teeth. But
But yeah, but I think
that's a good question.
yeah, no, I
It
think
makes me think.
I to me personally, I think this is something that I've been very fascinated with lately. Is that because I agree with you completely. As we get older, friendships seem to be harder to find. I mean, genuine friendship, and also retaining older friendships turn
For
out
sure.
hard as well, right?
Yes.
So what are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? Um, has the definition of friendship changed over the generations? I do not know. But at some point, I personally feel that growing up in a generation where the smartphone has been introduced, the internet has been introduced, the social media is taking over. Coming into Twitch, let me tell you, I mean, I was having this conversation with someone else yesterday with another in another Discord group, um, and we were talking about how people of our age were just like coming to Twitch, we're learning a whole different lingo which we have no idea about. And people who are like 18, 19, 20 today, they're calling us boomers, and it's a very derogatory term apparently. and and
I'm offended.
we don't even know what they're talking about. But in the same time, like growing up in that generation, we are growing up in a generation where these things have been introduced, but other people are growing up in a time where um, from the age of 5 or age of 4, they're already on smartphones. So to them, friendship might be different. To us, definition of friendship might be different. And I think it's definitely affected how we look at things in North America, in the Western world as well. The topic of ghosting. This wasn't there like 10 years ago. This wasn't there
Yeah.
even 5 years ago. I don't think this was a big deal. The online dating nowadays. I mean, there's so many things that are into it, and how do you even know who's a genuine friend? Is kind of fascinating to me nowadays. But
Yeah,
anyway,
for sure. No, it is. It is hard, and that's why like I always try to go with my gut instincts of how you feel. It is hard to gauge like what's real and what's not. But I think as you get older, you just naturally like kind of know more from experience. And um,
well, I would definitely hope so.
yeah, I hope so. I mean, you know, you guys use your judgment and determine like who's real and who's not. But it, yeah, this is a deep topic.
Yeah,
It
we can
requires
go
a
into
lot
that
of
some
thinking.
other time.
No, it's cool. I just like I used to like I used to be not good at talking about deep things. Like it was I always felt so awkward and I still do a little bit
Hmm.
because, you know,
It's deep.
I'm just, yeah. And
If you're not a
but
good
it's good.
swimmer,
I think these are important quality or like topics to touch on, and not just like me and Zeal talking. I mean, for you guys too, like, like to think about like what's important to you. Unless you don't care, then you don't care. But yeah,
unless you don't care, we
yeah,
definitely.
first impressions. Yeah,
But
but
Sumia says judge someone's five from first impressions.
mhm,
To be honest, I don't think first impressions should be given that much value or that much importance, because first impressions a lot of times, in my experience, can be kind of skewed,
yeah,
because you don't really get to know a person the first time you meet them or see them, and it's always an
yeah,
awkward interaction. So people who are very extroverted or people who are very good at faking as well, they might give you a very good first impression, but they
right,
may not be who they are. And people who are awkward like me, who are introverted, um, we may not come across very friendly in our first impressions.
yeah, for sure.
But
No, you got to take it with a grain of salt, like everything.
yeah,
But I'm glad that we have introduced each other through Twitch, and I think like it's cool for people that are introverted or have some sort of social anxiety. I'm speaking from personal experience because I have a friend with like really bad social anxiety. Like Twitch is like such a cool place for being able to connect with people and interact with people and make real, genuine friendships. Like just because it's online doesn't mean that it's like not real, you know. And in fact, I think it's a little bit more real because you take like you can't physically hang out or see each other, but like you get creative and you do things, and I think you like open up to people more. So, anyways, it's cool. That's just all I'm saying. That shout out to Twitch and Discord for connecting us all. You
damn,
know,
you're like asking for sponsorships from everyone today.